Hey guys, it's Rihanna. I'm going to do the long-awaited video of my pregnancy vlog slash pregnancy questions that you guys have asked me. And I know it's been so long, and I've been saying, oh, I'm going to do it this week, I'm going to do it this week, and I just didn't have time. I've been so tired, and I'm trying to get ready for my daughter to come, so that's why. I'm just going to explain all, just my pregnancy and answer some questions that I've gotten. Um, so, my story's kind of complicated, but I'll try to go through it as much as I can, as quickly as I can, so this video is not super, super long. So, we'll start out, I got pregnant back in September of 2015, I got pregnant. It was like the second week of September, I started getting sick, and I just, knew, immediately, and I had gone to a friend's house, and she was like, I'm buying you pregnancy tests because you need to take them, you need to know. And I was like, okay, fine. And so she bought them for me, and the first one I took actually came back negative, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm not pregnant. And then I took a second one, and it came back positive. So I was kind of confused, and I had asked my friend, because she'd had 2 kids already, or well, she was had a kid and she was pregnant with another one, and she was like, that happened to me and I was pregnant. And I was like, oh god, I was I was freaking out, and so I waited, and I didn't even really tell anybody that I was pregnant, that I was even thinking I was pregnant, besides that one person, because I was terrified, I wanted to know for sure. But I ended up telling my 2 best friends, and one of my best friends took me to the doctors, to Kaiser, and I took a pregnancy test there, and I was pregnant, and that was terrifying. So I didn't end up telling the father of my child until a month after. I was already a month and a few weeks along, because I was so scared to tell him. I didn't know how he was going to react. We weren't together at the time. We had broken up, and so I was so scared, I didn't want to tell him and have him freak out on me. I was terrified. And so I was living with him at the time I was pregnant, but I didn't tell him. And then I ended up moving out and going back to my grandpa's house and living with my mom and my grandpa. And I just enrolled myself in beauty school, and I really didn't tell anybody. I just kept it a secret for a long time. And so I ended up, I was I need to tell the father of my child, I need to tell him I'm pregnant, no matter what the circumstances were. And so I ended up telling him, and he was really calm about it, and it kind of terrified me. I was like, why are you so calm about this? You should be freaking out, I'm freaking out, why aren't you freaking out? And he was just calm about it, but then I could see in his face, he was freaking out. He was just trying to be calm because he didn't want to seem like he was freaking out, but I knew he was. And so I told him, and he was like, okay. And so I didn't end up talking to him for a long time, for almost, that was in October, the beginning of October, and I ended up not talking to him for a long time, I was just for a month, almost a month, we didn't talk. Every now and then I message him and let him know what's up, but we didn't talk. It was just, he was with somebody else, and I was just okay. And so after I had told him, though, that night I told him, I came home, and my mom was like, I don't know why you keep going over there and trying to make things work with him, and it's never gonna, he's with somebody else, and and I got really I was I'm not going over there because I want to be with him. And I was there's another reason I'm going over there. And she's like, what are you talking about? She was looking at me, I'm and I got really upset, and I started crying, and I told her, I'm you can't get mad at me when I tell you this. And immediately she's like, are you pregnant? And I'm and I just nodded, and she started crying, and she didn't really freak out on me. And so that was a lifesaver, because I was terrified that she was going to freak out, but she didn't. And she went and told my aunt, and then my family, and was visiting. My grandpa's side of the family was visiting from far away, and so they were all there when I told her. And so she told everybody, and she was really excited. She's gotten very used to it, and she's excited. She's excited to be a grandma, and everything. My whole family was very supportive. The only person that wasn't supportive of it was my dad. My dad was really upset, but I mean, I kind of figured that. You're no, it's your daughter coming to you telling you she's pregnant, And so I told him and I told everybody, and everything was good, you know? And I announced it on Facebook finally because I had told my whole family. Okay, so flash forward to like the beginning of November, maybe the second week of November. The father of my child and me started talking again, and we started hanging out again, and we ended up back together. And everything was going well. We stayed together all through November, all through December. And then in January, I had my first appointment, I had to get proof of pregnancy. And so I went to Planned Parenthood to get proof of pregnancy. And I took a pregnancy test. And they told me that I was only 8 weeks along. Now, if I was only 8 weeks along, that means I had to get pregnant, like, around Thanksgiving. And that wasn't possible. You know, I got pregnant in August, like the end of August, beginning of September. And so I had a miscarriage. I'm not going to get into that because that's very emotional for me. So I'm not going to get into that, but I did have a miscarriage. And I didn't know I had a miscarriage. So I ended up having a miscarriage and then getting pregnant again, like right after I had a miscarriage, like within a week or 2 weeks of each other. And so that ended up happening. So I was pregnant, and then I lost the baby, and then I got pregnant again in the, like, between Thanksgiving and, like, December 1st was, like, when I got pregnant. That's when they said I conceived. So, now I've been pregnant for 9 months and, like, a week, maybe, like, 9 months and a week. I'm almost due. I'm actually 37 weeks and 2 days today. And I'm literally, like, 3 weeks away from having my baby, like, and she can come anytime. And I'm so nervous, but I'm so excited because I'm ready to meet her. My whole family's ready to meet her. And me and the father of my child are not together at the moment. Like, we still hang out. He goes to the doctor's appointments with me. Like, we hang out. Like, we're friends. But we're just not together because it's just not where we need to be right now, you know? We're not going to fake it just because I'm pregnant. So we're just not together right now. He's not with anybody else. I'm not with anybody else. We're just not together. But, down the road, I do see us getting back together, and I don't know what's going to happen, but we do plan to move in together and raise our daughter together, so, yeah, okay, so this video is getting long, so I'm going to answer some questions that you guys have sent me over these past 9 months that I just been saving, and so, yeah, so here we go. The first question is, how did you know you were pregnant? Well, I started getting sick, like really sick in the middle of the night. Like, I would wake up and like have to run to the bathroom and throw up. And I never like have to throw up, you know. Like, I usually have to make myself throw up. Like, if I'm sick or if I ate something bad, I have to make myself throw up. So immediately I knew, and I was like, oh my god. Like, the first night I threw up, I was like, I'm pregnant, and like I freaked out, you know. But everybody was sleeping, so it's not like I could just go like to the father of my child and be like, oh my god, I just threw up, I think I'm pregnant, you know. And plus I was scared to tell him, like I said. So I just kept it to myself. That's how I knew. How did I react? Like I said, I freaked out. Like, on the inside I freaked out, not on the outside, because I didn't want to tell anybody until it was for sure. How did the father of my child react? Like I said, he was calm, but he did end up freaking out later on down the line, like, because he started realizing, you know, he still hasn't really, like, accepted it. Like, I don't think he's really gonna, like, feel like we're having a baby until, like, she's here in my arms, you know? So he's still, like, he knows the baby's coming, obviously, like, he's not denying it, like, oh my god, there's no baby, like, he's not doing that, like, but he's still in denial. Did you get sick a lot? I did not. Like, this pregnancy has been very, very easy for me, and I'm so grateful for that. It's been very easy, very smooth. I had a couple, like, scares, but it's been pretty easy. The only thing really is I've been super tired. That's it. Do you like being pregnant? I mean, I do, because I haven't got sick. Like, you know, I was terrified because everybody's always like, oh, I got so sick, I couldn't get out of bed, like, I was all this, and I was having morning sickness, and I was, like, terrified of that. But I've had such a smooth pregnancy that it's like, yeah, I enjoy it. Except for these last couple weeks. Like, these last couple weeks that I have to be pregnant, I'm going to be miserable because I'm starting to get very uncomfortable. What's your favorite part about being pregnant? Feeling the kicks and feeling her move is the most amazing thing that you will ever experience. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, it's just such an amazing feeling to know that you're growing life inside of you. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm going to miss it. Like, I'm going to miss her moving around. Like, I'm going to miss it so much. How did you choose a name? Okay. Well, father of my child wanted really weird names. He's a really odd person, so he wanted really weird names, and I kind of like just agreed with him to like okay, well maybe we'll do these names. But I ended up choosing her name, and he kind of like just went along with it because I was like, this is the name, like it just stuck. Once I found out she was a girl, I started thinking of names, and then I ended up coming with the name Arabella, and I really loved it. Like, I just loved the name. Like, I couldn't, once I found that name, I just couldn't let it go, you know, that was her name. And then her middle name is Josephine, after my grandma that passed away a few years ago, and so her name is Arabella Josephine, and I love it, absolutely. Like, that's her, that's my baby girl. What gender did you want? My whole life, I always wanted a boy first. Like, I always said I want a boy first, so, and when I have a girl later on down the line, he'll protect her. But when I found out I was having a girl, I was so overwhelmed with joy, like, knowing that I'm gonna have, like, a little mini me, like, somebody to dress up, do her hair, like, I was so excited. So, I wanted a boy, but then when I found out I was having a girl, I was like, I couldn't imagine having a boy, you know? Are you scared to give birth? I am terrified. I am absolutely terrified to give birth. But I'm so ready. Like, I'm just ready to get her out and just see her. And it'll be all worth it. I am scared. I'm terrified. But I'm ready. Are you ready to be a mom? I mean, I don't think you're ever ready to be a parent, no matter how old you are, who you are. I don't think you're ever ready. But I am ready to go on this journey and experience it for myself. And I'm not ready to be a mom because it's terrifying, but I'm ready to become a mom and be that person for my daughter and love her unconditionally. So yeah, that's pretty much all the questions. I'm trying to make this video as short as I can because it's a long ass video. But so yeah, thanks for watching. If I'm not gonna show my belly because I'm wearing like this weird shirt, and I'm not gonna show my belly. If you follow me on Tumblr or follow me on Instagram, I post belly pics like constantly. So you've seen my belly, so don't matter. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you have any other questions, please leave it in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, do all those wonderful things. And yeah, thanks again for watching. Bye.